Am I on? Get going? My name is Matthew Peterson. I'm a co-founder of Mind Research Institute. We're a nonprofit research institute, and we're the developers of STMath. A lot of people might have seen this penguin around. We're all about math. We're all about math, needing to learn math by doing math, not by hearing a lecture about math, not by watching a video about math, not by doing multiple choice questions about math, but by actually interacting with mathematical mechanisms. And so it pains me to be up here talking to you because we're against talking by teaching. So I'm going to go out to the audience member and let one of you guys actually interact with this stuff, because I think it's the best way for you to understand how I'm going to pick on one of you. This guy looks good because you don't have an iPad. What is that? Is that a Surface? Oh, okay. So here you go. So I'm not even going to tell you what to do. Well, you can just tap these things and just kind of see what happens. And try to figure out what's going on. And you guys can help in the audience. This will be one audience member. So you're hitting these rotation operators. You're rotating twice, rotating 3 times. All right. Is that what you wanted to do? Yes? Did that solve the problem? All right, so you're rotating this way. All right. You're rotating around. You're rotating that way. Okay. Goes like this, like this.
You first have to figure out what the problem is. Right?
You have to figure, he figured it out that he wants to match the penguin on the right. He said that. Let me come over here. I'll give him some moral support. Does this help? That was close. That was pretty close. All right, so what's your first plan of attack? Okay, so it's gonna be rotating downwards.
And then I'm gonna turn around.
Okay, try that. All right, so now you're rotating this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I do it again?
Okay, you can do that again. See what that does. Like this, like that, and like.
All right.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you did that a lot faster than a typical student would do, but you learned by doing. No one told you, here's how you solve this problem. No one even told you what the problem was. You figured out the problem. There's no instructions, there's no words. English language learners have just as good a time as everyone else. And this is a very algebraic concept. You have an unknown, you have a bunch of unknowns, you have a starting point and ending point, you have input and output, you have these operators, and it's a non-routine. So it's a very algebraic problem, but it's a non-routine algebra. And you're learning by solving problems, and you're learning by doing, interacting, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. It's not a multiple choice, and yes, you got it right, no, you got it wrong. It's, I tried something, let me see what the consequences of what I tried, and if it solved the problem or not. And if it doesn't, let me adjust what I did. And that is called the perception action cycle, and it drives all learning. And so that's what we do. That is not what's out there. So I started this about 18 years ago, and this is what teaching basically looks like for algebra and mathematics in general. It's like, here's how you solve this problem. It's all these symbols, and we're not letting students actually interact with the math. Touch, feel, see, and play with mathematical mechanisms. And so that's what I set out to do, because this is what this stuff does to our students right now. We cannot allow this to keep on going on. So I've been working, like I said, working on this for 18 years, and so this is kind of what math looks like using STMath, the approach that I developed. So here's what math looks like. No words. We got some symbols, some math symbols, but trying to make it so you're touching, feeling, and interacting with mathematical elements and mechanisms. And so instead of a classroom looking like this, classrooms start to look like this. There's collaboration. There's figuring things out. There is perseverance. There is struggle. There is learning. And the learning is deep conceptual learning. And so we can take a school district. This is the first school district that used our software in Santa Ana. It's 98% English language learners. No, 78% English language learners, 98% free and reduced lunch. Here's a typical curve. Most students are basic, some are below basic, some are far below basic, some are proficient, some are advanced. And after using this software, we can get The biggest category is advanced mathematical thinking. This is our state standardized test across an entire district. Every single teacher, every single student. Some teachers want to do it, some teachers want to do it, some teachers don't want to do it. Scalable across the board because we're getting at true mathematical problem solving. And this is not just one district, it's every single place we've ever put the software, every large-scale implementation, we see double to triple the rate of growth in math proficiency. So this is working at scale. One of the things that allows us to make this impact is that we do something against what the great teachers in education are saying. Does anyone know Vygotsky zone of proximal development? Crap. So that guy, so he says, this guy, it doesn't take a genius to say, oh, you want to be in this zone of proximal development, you don't want it to be too hard, you don't want it to be too easy. It takes a genius to come up with that concept. But actually it's wrong. So you're moving along, progress, you don't want it to be too hard, you don't want it to be too easy. Actually, what we do is periodically we make it way too hard. Way beyond your zone of proximal development. Too hard, you're struggling. You don't know what to do. You're trying to figure out. You're getting frustrated. You go home. You come back the next day. You might spend 2 weeks on a single problem. And eventually you figure it out. And what does that look like? It looks like this. We see this every single day, and what starts off as frustration turns into challenge, turns into a love of challenge, a thirst for challenge, and perseverance. Perseverance, not like, oh, a problem should only take a few minutes to solve. No, some problems take weeks to solve, and we allow students to work on it for weeks. It's because real problems in the real world take that long. And so that's what we do, and we think we have a chance of getting every single student in the United States proficient or advanced in mathematics. Proficient is not good enough. They should all be advanced all the way through calculus. That's what we're after, and if we can do that, and I know we can probably have a bigger impact on society than the Renaissance had on society. Imagine everyone in the United States being proficient or advanced in calculus and having perseverance to go on and solve problems. So we're Mind Research Institute. My name is Matthew Peterson. We're looking forward to talking to you. We're nonprofit, so we're looking for foundations, but we're also open to all kinds of other partnerships. Looking forward to talking to you.